Hello. I want to talk about introspection in this video and mental illness and all kinds of things. So, I am on my healing journey, and my whole life basically, I've been traumatized as a child systematically over many years. It never ended as long as I stayed with my family and with my parents. They don't know better. Yeah. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know how they're traumatizing a child. So they don't understand how they have traumatized us, particularly me. So my brother had it quite a bit better than I did. But even he has suffered a lot, and he never had the common psychiatric disorders. So, but that doesn't mean he wasn't mentally ill. So he's very mentally ill, and so are my parents. It doesn't matter how adapted a person is, no matter how well adapted to society they are or how functioning, that's not an indication that the person is well and healthy. Okay, not at all. So if we take a closer look at society, we can clearly see this. We can see that people are very neurotic. Okay, this is a marble rock I found at the beach. It's wonderful. It's a quartz rock, and I like to hold it in my hand. Feels really good. And quartz rocks give you protection, energetic protection. So it's really nice to have that in your hand or next to you when you're on the internet, or next to your pillow when you're sleeping at night. This is very nice to have this. So most people are extremely neurotic, and they act like they are normal. They act because most people want to act like they're normal. They try everything they can. So, and for some people it is the idea of falling into one of the psychiatric disorders and have other people notice that idea is so frightening for most people that they get into all kinds of act outs, drugs. In case of my brother, it's drugs and alcohol and nicotine and partying, distracting himself, also picking up other people's behavior. He's hanging out with Muslims and with Muslim men, and he is picking up their rude behavior, and he's picking up their sexist views of women, which I thought was extremely disappointing to me. So I see all of these things, the problem behind all of this is they don't introspect. Almost nobody does introspection. I met a guy once on Facebook in the anti-natalist group. Nice guy, he was nice to me. It was touching to me that he wanted to be my friend. So we were, you know, pen pal friends, you know, writing to each other for, I don't know, about a month or two. But he is a sociopath. And sooner or later, you know, it just from the beginning was uncomfortable for me, very uncomfortable talking to him, because he was so into sarcasm. It's a defense mechanism. Sarcasm is anti-communication. It's a defense mechanism, even if it is meant as a communication to support what the other person says. It still is anti-communication, because it's a snarly way of viewing the world and viewing other people. And I can see how someone can fall into this very easily, you know, very, very easily, because if we don't introspect, and I catch myself here and there getting into this type of negativity, you know, and that's what the real negativity is. That's there are different forms of criticizing and different forms of complaining also. Not all complaining is negativity, you know. We have to complain sometimes. We have to criticize and we have to see issues, but it's very important how we do it, you know. We can do it in a humble way, in a straightforward way, or we can do it in a backstabbing and sarcastic way, in a passive-aggressive, you know, vengeful way, you know, and that's negativity. So we have to pay very close attention to this, and that is what I'm practicing, you know. When I earlier was in the bathroom, had a negative thought, you know, about some people on the internet, you know, some famous people that are constantly in the limelight, constantly talking and acting out. Okay, and so then I could clearly see that I was falling into exactly that, what they were doing, you know. And what they're doing is they see something that someone else did wrong, rightly so, but here comes the trap. Then this criticism of the other person will then be used by their egos to run off with it, and run off far away from ground zero, which is introspection, or what I call the ego dissolution funnel. I'm painting a painting right now with that title. It's almost finished. It's acrylic on cardboard. So I will show it when it's finished. It's upstairs, and I want to hang it up in the staircase under my other painting. So it's gonna look nice, because it's gonna have nice bright light from the skylight shining down on it. This is very nice, and it's a vertical painting. It's like rectangular in shape, and a woman is falling from the top, from an airplane actually, down, straight down into a palm tree. And because I read about stories like this, and different stories of people falling down, and some survived, some didn't, but whatever, you know, whether they survived or died, either way the ego probably died. Also in the survivors, we can survive, we can experience nothing and just sit here on the couch, and we can still have the dissolution of the self, as in ego, as in self-identification. Myself, the me, as the living organism that I am, can be free from ego. It can be, theoretically. It isn't, of course. I only know one person that was free from ego, and that's Jiddu Krishnamurti, for sure. So, only one person. Nobody else. There are some people that are getting a little closer to it, to that. There are some people that are also inside of that ego dissolution funnel. There are some people that are making sure to stay in there, that are really, really dedicated and working on it, myself included, but that doesn't mean I am free from identification and self and ego activities. So I catch myself doing it. It happens very easily. You see an opportunity. The ego sees an opportunity. What is the ego? It's a very abstract term. It's an abstract thing, really. But it's an energy. It's a thought energy. It's not even the brain cells, not even your biological organism that you are, conglomeration of cells. It is, if it was only the conglomeration of cells, still with an intact brain and everything, you would experience real intelligence and real uniqueness and bravery and real love and all of these things. What blocks this pathway of real love and uniqueness is the ego, because the ego is always trying to hitchhike with something else, with some kind of identification, and it blocks any kind of creativity or creative flow. So that's why the ego is very, very eager to find someone to identify with, whether it's a guru or a role model or someone we would like to be or someone we are jealous of or whatever it may be, a religion, a political party, so the ego is very, very quick to latch onto it, and that's my new identity. I am this or that. I am a pink color lover. Now I belong to the group of pink color lovers. So it's like, why do I need to belong to a group that likes pink color? Good for them, but I always liked it. Why does this have to be my identity now? I'm just using this as an example because I see this happening on the internet non-stop. It's like, this is what people do, like in a frenzy. It's a frenzy out there of ego activities and constant comparison. Particularly, the worst target group for that is teenage girls. Constant comparison. Who is who and how are they liked? Oh, the men like her, I want to be like her, and then the ego latches onto it. And if they find an opportunity to criticize someone, the ego will take that and run off with it. But what we really need to do is, what we really, 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 really should do is sit down and breathe and not run off with it, not go into a snarly sarcasm or something, but go into complete introspection and meditate on it. How does it feel? How does this feel, what I'm feeling right now? What is it? Isn't it jealousy? Jealousy, baby. Okay, take care.